not everyone always feels accepted, and that's the truth. Like, and I think what musicians do when they create this environment for you to create in is like they want you to feel loved and accepted. They create that space for you.
Her name is Ella Isaacson, and her song is rude, but I think she's pretty nice. Welcome.
Thank you. So happy to
Glad.
be here. Thank you so much.
So let's
Yeah.
get down to it with the song Rude. It is raw, it's sort of punchy, it's to the point. But what is it that you're saying in this song? What am I supposed to take away from it?
There's a few different elements of it, but there's like where I was in my life when I wrote the song, and then there was like the inspiration that happened in the moment, that inspired it. So for me, a lot of prior releases were talking about a breakup that I had gone through, and for me, and I think a lot of people when they have things that happen in life that really break them down, I feel like I was broken down to the point where the only way forward was to completely rebuild and build a new person. And sometimes people come into your life or things happen and it's a lesson and it's unfortunate. Nobody wants to learn that lesson, but then you do, and you come out so much stronger and more powerful for it. And, I see women of all kinds, going through all their different issues and different things and different journeys. And I think there's just nothing more sexy and amazing and powerful than when you see a woman really like step into her power, And so then I was writing when I was in Korea, and I was having a text conversation with a friend, and she sent me this video she wanted me to wear for a show or anything I had coming up. Fell in love with it. I was like, wait, why are you sending me this? What are you looking at? Like, she's not in music, She's just has this thing about her since I met her, that she's just this beautiful businesswoman and empowered and just so just inside and out, just stands within herself. And she sent me like an outfit she was looking at for a party she was going to, and I joked with her. I was like, girl, hell's got a bed made up for you. Your body's just rude. You're just rude, literally. And I was like, wait, oh my God, this is a song. I'm gonna write this. So but like instantaneously I started getting all these ideas, and I started seeing the 80s movie with the panning of like the girl walking, as the guitar riff is playing, and you pan up to this just powerful woman. And I just wanted that song to be exuded. And so the video as well, it just all has that energy, celebrating femininity and womanhood of all types, And so that's what I wanted.
You mentioned the 80s influence too, and I gotta say, I
Yeah.
like the Def Leppard t-shirt.
Ah, thank you. I always said that I want to, like, I watched the Def Leppard concerts from the 80s on YouTube one time. And I was just like, oh my God, like I was born in the wrong era. Like, I wish I could go to those concerts, Like, this looks so cool, and people are like everywhere on the stage and just like going crazy. I just never saw anything like it, specifically a Def Leppard concert. So, yeah.
Sure. Now you're a songwriter, so this
Yeah.
inspires a question
Yeah.
for me. If
Okay.
you could write a song with/for any
Yeah.
musician, artist, dead or alive throughout history, who would you want to team up with?
Freddie Mercury for sure. Just would be epic. Um, Alive. Billy Joel. I'm from
Nice.
Long Island, New York originally, and I just love me some Billy Joel. Like whenever I go to the East Coast, I hear it, and it makes me feel at home. One of the most epic songwriters. I mean, he does pop, he does rock. I don't even, it's like genreless for what the time was. He's just made such an impact, and still performing and all these things. And it's still such a, kind of Long Island staple. So I feel like, yeah, him. There's so many, but I don't want to take up too much time. We could be
Yeah.
here for hours talking about this,
I
literally.
can imagine. I can imagine. You've also spent hours, from what I've understood, from what I've heard, consuming true crime, maybe TV shows, maybe podcasts, whatever. You like that stuff, right?
I do. I do.
Yeah. So if you weren't doing music, do you think you'd be in forensics, maybe? Maybe a detective?
I did used to think about that. There was two different things I used to think about that I would want to, do forensics like that and figure out kind of crime situations. And then also when I was little, I used to collect rocks and fossils. And I also thought about archaeology when I was younger. If I didn't do this, I would want to like find dinosaurs and treasures.
but you do music, and you've got a team around you that supports you really well. When
Yeah.
Rude came out, you hand delivered some cakes to the people who helped make that song a reality.
Thank
For
you.
younger musicians, for people who might just be starting out, for example, and they're not quite sure how to carry themselves through the industry,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about how important it's been for you to make and nurture and cherish connections with other professionals.
It's so important. I think as a musician, there's two sides to it. I almost get emotional thinking about it too, because it's like you find these people who believe in you and, take your vision forward. And a lot of times they don't know exactly what's going to happen with that song. They don't even know if you're going to necessarily put that song out sometimes when you walk in the room, and people really contribute their time and their effort and their heart to what you're doing, and this is like, I always just, the more and more I spend with musicians, the time I spend, and they're just beautiful people. They're giving themselves to you, and you're giving yourself to them. And so I've felt that deeper and deeper as I've gone into this process, and people create a space for you. I mean, I think a lot of musicians, people in entertainment, people out in their world, like, not everyone always feels accepted, and that's the truth. Like, and I think what musicians do when they create this environment for you to create in is like, they want you to feel loved and accepted. They create that space for you. And so for me, like, I've found people who really make me feel celebrated, and I want to celebrate them and I want to thank them. And I'm so thankful. Like, the cakes for me, I wanted to do something special. I just wanted them to know that I cared and I thought about them. And I just think, unfortunately, which is the way the laws and everything work out, sometimes the musicians and the songwriters are taking care of the least, and they're seen the least, and they don't get the face time. Not that they want it, but like, they truly deserve it. And so I just wanted to do something that showed them, just like, I thought of them and I love them and I care about them and they're my friends, and people that make beautiful art with me.
You cover a lot of different points there that are all so valid. Now, you've also
Thank you.
been part of a songwriting team for a very
Yeah.
successful recent project, and that is Aespa, the
Yeah.
K-pop girl group. Recently hit #1 on the billboards. You got a plaque for it,
Yeah.
so
It's
congratulations
right over
again.
there.
Oh, is it?
Thank you. It
Very
came in,
nice.
yeah.
What was the process of working with Aespa? Did you know the song was for them, or did they maybe buy it after you had written it? How did that work?
Aespa, when I wrote the song, actually wasn't a group. They weren't like a formed group yet. We were,
Pre-debut.
yeah, it was definitely pre-debut. It was pre-pandemic too. It was my first time to Korea. I actually went to Seoul, Korea through a series of random circumstances. I ended up there. I didn't really know the SM team or anything. And I end up in their offices, and they tell me, we want to make a girl group, and we want them to be amazing and the biggest girl group ever. And, can you write us a song that's gonna, feel right for a group like that? And that was the only direction I got.
That's crazy. So they were like,
I
okay,
don't know if I'm even allowed to share that, but
sure, yeah. I mean, you came into the office and they were like, listen, we want to build the biggest girl group in the world. Go for it. Like, that was it.
that was the direction.
I mean, at
So
least
we
that
just
gave you
thought about,
artistic
like,
freedom. That
right. So, like, Pinky in the Brain, I thought of, like, how am I gonna, like, take over the world, like, in this moment, like, who's gonna say that, And basically I just thought of, like, okay, well, take over the world, dangerous, like, okay, why don't we find an animal that would, like, be the most poisonous animal in the world? And we're thinking of a few different animals, and then Black Mamba came up, and I was like, that's the one. It's Black Mamba. And I was like, Mamba, Mamba. And I, like, sang it right away.
that's the genesis right there. That idea, that
Yeah.
meeting, that thought process,
Right, because we were
all
going through different ideas, and I was, no, Mamba works, and, like, can't you hear it in the way I'm singing?
well, clearly it did, because you've got the plaque to prove it. So
Thank you.
no need to doubt yourself. That was a success.
Who knew? I mean, you write all these amazing, like, you have these amazing experiences writing these songs, and you really never know. But I did feel that one felt special.
Now we've covered something very high pressure, very intense. Now I want to cover something less intense and super low
Okay.
pressure. First line of your Instagram bio says that your last meal would be pasta.
Oh
First,
yeah.
context of the last meal, are you on death row? Like what is this? What is this situation you're imagining here?
I mean, no, I just think it represents just like my favorite thing. Like if I had to like never eat food again and I could only have one thing, what would I eat? And it would certainly be pasta.
Okay, okay. And then I am a big believer personally that the shape influences the taste. So what shape of pasta?
I mean, I like spaghetti.
Okay.
I mean, it can be like definitely different variations of spaghetti, but I like spaghetti roll. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe spaghetti, fettuccine, maybe an angel hair, but nothing,
Yeah.
nothing too crazy, right?
Yeah, those are my favorite. I mean, I am not biased. I will have all the pastas, but those are my like go-tos for sure. Yeah.
I forgot one thing that I want to talk about, and that is, of course, the tooth gem.
Yes,
We wanna talk about it. Obviously, we can see that inside your smile over there.
yes,
It's a little heart shape, right?
it is a heart shape. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm new to this. I know it's not like the
Okay.
forehead. It's not like the forehead gem that Lil Uzi did or whatever. It's not that. But
No,
did it hurt going in? Is it like a piercing?
no, it didn't hurt.
Okay,
It's
okay.
kind of like, it was really funny. I was walking into a restaurant the other night and the guy had braces and he was like, we're kind of similar. I'm like, we are kind of similar. It's kind of like braces. You get glued on and it's like the post of the braces is very similar.
Huh. Does it affect your pasta eating at all?
I can eat as much pasta as I want with this tooth gel.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And it's something that really kind of makes your look super unique. So,
Thank
painless
you.
process, good look in the end. I guess you're happy. You're a happy customer with it, aren't you?
I'm a happy customer with it. It was like kind of last second. It all kind of happened randomly, but like for me, you know, I work with a lot of matters of the heart, and I've grown in my own ways, and like I always just like things to represent me, you know? And so it was kind of a quick split decision. I don't like thinking too much about these things. I like give it like it's either like 5 minutes or a day. I don't like to, because I got a heart on my on here too. So
Hmm.
I'm like the queen of I love hearts. I'm queen of hearts. So um yeah, so I really uh, feel like that represents me. It's like love and relationships and growth and all of those things. And so, yeah, I wear it in my smile.
That's awesome. Well, I gotta say, this has been a fun conversation. My mouth is starting to get sore from smiling so much.
Same.
Maybe
Same.
that says a lot about me. But hey, at least we got a good time in here, right? So,
Yeah.
Ella Isaacson, you've got so much to share with the world, both musically and otherwise, and I'm so glad that you shared just a little bit of it with me.
Thank you for sharing your time with me. I appreciate it so much.